Let me stop this awesome backing track. All right, yeah, free week at iMusicAcademy continues. Good morning, Dad. First on in the chat. Good job. Rick, a close second. I don't know who actually was on first, but we're going to assume it was T-Man. Rick, good to see you. Vicky, good to see you as always. Doug, good to see you, man. Doug's having some breakthroughs with his practicing. I love it. He's getting these licks down and these ideas. Of course, the bookends of iMusicAcademy. Hugh, good to see you, Hugh. Awesome. I hope you're having a great day, everyone. All right, we have people that are going to be coming in. Let's talk about what we're going to do today. So we're going to go through the course, and we're going to practice a couple specific things. I know that you guys like this Latin idea. We have all these new backing tracks, and we have licks from the course that really dig into using kind of a longer line, but also a Latin feel with this 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And just as a reminder, you have backing tracks in the chorus with drums and you. So those are the ones that if you want to play along with your bass lines, use just the backing track for the drums. And we have 4 different styles. We have 4 different tempos for each kind of style. We have 80 beats all the way up to 110. And so tons of backing tracks. Here's another quick reminder is from the course. If I'm looking at the course, and let me just pull up the course here. I want you guys to know a great way to practice is to have 2 windows open. So you have the course, and then you can scroll down anything you want to look at. You see here, and just so anybody's looking at this for the first time, I love the way this course has turned out. It's very interactive with the PDF. You can click any lick that you want to go to. These are 16 sweet hand-picked licks from my 4 blues volumes. And just a shout out to everybody who's been purchasing that. Right now, it's still for 2 more days. It's going to be $16, and then it goes up to $27. But there are 2 options. You can get the $16 one right now, and of course, you get the PDF, backing tracks, 85-minute video, all of that. But you have all these timestamps and things in here. But if you want the bundle edition, we are voting today. So get ready, iMusicAcademy. You have to get these 16 licks down to 8 licks tonight. And then we're going to do the final 4, and the final 4 that you choose get played in all key for the bundle edition. The bundle edition is probably like $10 more right now. And so it's a really cool way to get the all keys training on 4 of those licks that you choose, and then the last one gets all the different bass lines over 1 lick, 1 champion lick. So that's the additional thing. But duplicate your window. Watch this. I'm here and I pulled up the course and I can cycle through this, but if I want to use my backing tracks and also see all the sheet music, it's a neat thing to do that you can pull up the backing tracks. Just duplicate your window and you're good to go. All right, so let's turn it on 90 beats per minute. Let's go ahead and get into some left hand training. And what we've been practicing is this rhythm right here, which don't be intimidated by this idea. We're doing a C9, and this is for the trio style version of this course. You guys know that we build chords left to right, 3, flat 7, 9, right? We do this all the time at iMusicAcademy. And so we have 3, flat 7, 9 from a C scale, and then we have an F13. So left to right, flat 7 of an F scale, 3 and 13. We have 3 main chords we're working on. That's a G13, flat 7, 3 and 13. So at iMusicAcademy, we talk about chord formulas, right? A chord formula is a set of numbers that relates to building chords and in whatever key you're in. So 3, flat 7, 9 of C are these 3 notes. If I'm in D major and I say 3, flat 7, 9, I think I think the 3rd note of a D scale, the flat 7 and the 9th. And as you guys know, the reason we can say this is C9 is because we take the 3rd note, the flat 7, and this is not the 2nd note of D major, it's the 9th because we have that flat 7, and we are stacking notes on top and to get these really nice sounds. So if you're using this version right here where you're playing the trio style, we want our left hand voicings to be in this what I call the butter area of the piano. And iMusicAcademy people who are in the chat right now will tell you that we've been doing these chords. Like, you can make this chord fancy by making it a 4-note chord by adding an A for a really jazzy sound for a C13. But we want this simple 3 flat 7 9 rootless voicing. The bass player's down here playing his notes, and we're playing a nice rootless. We don't have the root in our voicing, but it's a really nice thing that outlines the changes. In our right hand, we can solo with that. Now, in this new course, there is 18 minutes. I mean, the first example is the Oscar Peterson lick, but I have a section in there where I teach you all about left-hand voicings as it relates to this course. So just know that you have that option. I'm going to turn on the track, and let's start going through this rhythm, and we'll talk about this Latin rhythm. And then in the meantime, I'm going to check the chat. All right, let's talk about this rhythm. So the first thing to get this kind of rhythm is 2 downbeats. I go 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, 4. And notice, just like Hugh is the bookends of my iMusicAcademy, that means he's always on at the beginning, he's always on in the middle, but he's also at the end. So Hugh is the bookends of iMusicAcademy. Same thing about this rhythm. The bookends is at first downbeat, downbeat, and 4, and 1, and 2, and then downbeat, 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 3, and off. 3 offs in a row. Now, I want everybody locked in, laser focused on the concept of what we're talking about right now. We have 3 chords. You're either on C, you're on G, or you're on F. And the rhythm that we're doing is 2 downbeats in a row, and then 3 offbeats in a row, and then you end with downbeat, 2 downbeats. Here we go, 3, 4. Downbeat, downbeat, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, 4. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, 4. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. 1 and 2. We're going to lock up the hands in just a minute. And 2. We're on the automatic pilot right here. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Okay, let's stop this for just a second. And let's just break it down even more, just to make sure that we understand what's happening. So a lot of you, even if you're beginner or even intermediate players, a lot of times we don't even think about, like, how in the world are we going to get this to sound like we want it as we're improvising over this? How can we get this 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, 4, especially if we're just used to a swing rhythm, right? At iMusicAcademy, you guys know we go 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3. And I teach you guys, we're going to use automatic pilot as step 1 to lock up the hands. One of my favorite things to do is to teach you guys how to lock up the hands. If you're doing a swing rhythm, it's like this. Together, 1 and 2 and. The F sharp gets the and of 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And then on the way down, you have your E flat. So this is for the swing feel. And we have swing feel for this course as well. But notice how if I'm trying to lock up the hands and I say, all right, I need the and of 2. 1 and 2 and. It's going to be F sharp. 1 and 2 and 3. Sorry. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And when it happens on the way back down, it's E flat gets the and of 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Now, isn't that nice in itself? We will turn on the swing track in just a minute. But let's go back to this same concept. But now if I'm going to try to lock up this Latin rhythm, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, 4. I have to figure out where on automatic pilot do my beats line up. So let's try to practice that. 1 and 2. Okay. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. So as we start the lick, 1 and 2. It goes C and F. 1 and 2 and 3 and, there's the F sharp again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then to E flat. That's my other offbeat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Oh, there it is. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So let's get our downbeats again. First is our C and F. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and. So notice that to get the 3 offbeats in a row, we're going to go F sharp, E flat, and then E flat again. Okay, here we go. Let me do it super slow. At iMusicAcademy, I say all the time, one of the best things you can do is practice something slow and straight. And you can always, the beats are going to line up. That's what's so nice. And if you learn how to practice slow and straight, everybody can get this. Let's practice this very slow and very straight, even though it's a Latin rhythm. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. And then on beat 3, here are my downbeats. G, F. And then it starts over. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Now, this is not necessarily something that you're just going to get right away, but you will get the way to practice this today. I want everybody to understand how to do this. And so let's turn on the track one more time and let's do our left hand practice only, okay? If you guys are enjoying this lesson, please say hello in the chat and make sure you like this video. I always love it when you guys leave comments on the videos, and also you just say hello in the chat or like the video. It really means a lot to know that you guys are really enjoying music learning and hanging out at iMusicAcademy. Here we go. So first I'll get the rhythm. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, 4. So 2 downbeats, 3 off beats, and 2 downbeats. Down, down, up, 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 down, 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 and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and... What's up, Vance? Vance is the poet that lets you know it. Good morning, good to see you. 1, 2, everybody say hey to Vance. 1, and 2, and 3, 4, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3. Let me stop this really quickly. The same thing applies if I was playing a shuffle drums, bass, and you. I'm going to put this on 100 beats per minute, and I want to do the automatic pilot just so you guys hear it. 1, 2, 3, 4. So on the way up, it's the F sharp that gets the and of 2. On the way back down, it's the E flat. 3, 4, again, 3 and 4, and. And 2, and here we go. 1 and 2, F sharp, E flat, F sharp, E flat. Talk about a couple things related to the course. You have all your backing tracks, you have all your licks. Let's go through one of the licks. The first one we're going to do is the one that I sent out to our email list community, is this idea of reminder, everyone, is that if I want a nice bluesy C7 lick, C, E, G, and B flat. And then all I have to do is index finger goes up a whole step, and I'm perfectly set up for this. And if you like this, put yes in the chat. This kind of lick. So we have. What I like about this course is, yes, it's mostly material from my 4 blues volumes, but I also show you all the ways to connect it to not only other licks, like I hand chose these licks as these are the ones I want you guys to know, and also how to connect, not only to connect to other licks like our Ray Charles things, but this idea of so many different ways you can play a lick, right? I could play this, or I could go halfway, I could start at the top, or I could go, or I could start at the bottom, top. So that's the great thing. And even when we do like the C6 lick, you can play it like that. You can go. And what I did in this course is I show you a lot of different ways to play the same material. And then once you learn the material, you make it your own. And that's what I love about this. All right, now as I'm looking at the course, and hopefully you guys can see this, a couple of things you need to know everybody needs to know how to use this table of contents. It'll take you just click on a lick, it'll take you right there. You can watch the whole video, you can go use all the timestamps. I love these timestamps. If you want to do the one we're doing right now, let's just go there right now. And I sent everybody this PDF, so have no fear there. There are a couple licks from the course we've been working on lately. This one right here, if I want to watch the training, I just literally go here to the timestamp. It takes you right there. And then let's listen to it. A lot of controversy on this next one. A lot of our iMusicAcademy members were debating on this one versus the one that actually goes up to the audio. Yeah, so for right now, for 2 more days, for $16, you get this entire 85-minute training, the PDFs, the backing tracks, all of that. And then what most people have been doing is doing the extra $10 and you get the backing tracks, and it's well worth it. You're going to not only learn a lot, but you're going to have a lot of materials to practice and keep getting better and keep having fun with music. So remember that you can scrub through the timeline here and go to any lick that you want to, okay? So I love that about this course. It's really nice. All of my courses have PDFs that have accessible, like interactive things where you can jump around and watch the video training and see the sheet music and everything. But we're ramping it up a little bit at iMusicAcademy. All right, so you have this lick right here, and what I would recommend is play it with different styles, but also get the solo piano version down. This one is like this: 1 and then 2 and then 3 and then 4 and then 1 and then 2 and then 3 and then 4 and then. Now, if you're looking at that and you're thinking, how in the world am I going to do that while playing this? And how in the world am I going to lock up the hands because I have eighth notes in the left hand and triplets in the right hand? The great news is that when you see eighth notes in the left hand on your sheet music in blues, it generally means a triplet rhythm. So we're not playing it like this. We're playing it 1 and then 2 and then 3 and then 4 and then 1 triplet, 2 triplet, right? 1 triplet, 2 triplet. So what you hear is the first note is longer than the second note. 1 and then 2 and then, or 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4. A lot of times people ask me, well, they're saying I can't get my blues feel down and it doesn't feel right. And the reason is maybe you haven't thought about things in triplets, right? That's part of what I love about licks like this. It's all triplet lick, 1 and then 2 and then 3 and then 4. And there are also other licks in this course that do the same thing, triplets, but think about like this: 1 and then 2 and then 3 and then 4 and then 4. So this simple lick I chose for a reason, because it fits right under the hand. It's a C triad, and you just go 2 3 5 2 3 5 2 3 5, right? And then with your left hand, you can learn to put that together by simply thinking of triplets: 1 and then 2 and then 3. Everybody, if you understand this concept that we're working on, solo piano, I want you to think of, put a 3 in the chat for triplet. And this concept not only works for bass lines, it works for your blues scale or blues licks or anything. You can go through an entire blues or learning about blues or improvising by thinking in terms of triplets: 1 and then 2 and then 3 and then 4 and then 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. And I can go like this: 1 and then 2 and then 3 and then 4 and then 1 and then 2 and then 3 and then 4 and then 1 and then 2 and then 3 and then 4 and then 1 and then. And it's really going to radically change the way you feel and the way you play this stuff if you start thinking in triplets: 1 and then 2 and then. It's not this. It's 1 and then 2 and then 3 and. So the first note's longer. 1 and 2 notes. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. Okay, so now that should immediately free you up to when you try to learn this lick that I sent out to everyone at the free iMusic Academy week. You have this idea of 1 and then 1 and then 1 triplet. Okay, so let's once again get in this particular shape right here. So yell out any key you want to. I want to show everybody how useful this information is as we talk about how to get set up for a lick. It's usually a visual thing that you can do to get set up. And while everybody's on here, we have a great group right now, 8 people watching. I love that. Have such engaged people at iMusic Academy. And I'm going to tell you guys a quick story in just a second that I think is useful for us being here today. So when I create all these licks, and I'm thinking visually, I can't play an F, Vance, any other key. I'm just kidding. All right, but watch this. Before I demonstrate that, from a visual standpoint, if I play a C6 lick, I'm thinking about the octave, I'm thinking about the C scale, I'm thinking about the triad. So then I could go to any key like F, and I visualize the F scale, and I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then I go 1, 3, 5, flat 3, 5. So I'm visualizing the F6 chord, right, and the scale. And so if I go to any key, so E flat, same thing. E flat has 3 flats: B flat, E flat, and A flat. So I can slide here, but I'm visualizing something. In this case, it's the E flat triad, right? And Vicky says G, so G major has one sharp. So I visualize that triad, and there's the 6th chord. Now, here's where it gets really interesting, Vance, is Vance said F. We'll do that lick on F. Now, this is the great thing about music, is a lot of these licks, patterns, they're identical in terms of your muscle memory that you build up. When I play this lick right here, into this triplet, this muscle memory right here, which we're going to talk about in just a second, but when I go to F, it's the same exact muscle memory shape when I go to G, when I go to F, or any key. It's really close. There are certain keys where it feels slightly different, but it's the same muscle memory that's happening here. And when Vance said go to the key of F, I want to show you guys how I was visually thinking about getting into the shape. So the first thing I like to teach, especially if I'm learning licks like this, that at first people go, how in the world am I going to play that? Even with the bass line, I go. And then how am I going to play that on F? Well, the first thing is let's talk about how we got to this in the key of C. I went C, E, G, B flat. That's a C7 chord in its most basic form. How do we learn chords? One of the things we do is we say we need to know the major scale. And I teach the major scales at iMusicAcademy. I give all kinds of training, like how to do it, where do you put your fingers. I did a lesson yesterday on how do you lock up. If you're playing a C major scale, you got to know that your middle fingers line up on E and A, and that's a great little visual. But then you say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So I'm thinking in terms of numbers. But the first thing to get a lick like this is I say, all right, 1, 3, 5, flat 7 of a C major scale. Now, once I get into this is just so I can visualize getting into the lick. My index finger is going to go up a whole step, and then I'm perfectly set up for the lick. Okay? So let's do that again. Get in the lick. So it's 1, 3, 5, flat 7. And then index finger goes up a whole step. And now I'm perfectly set up for that lick. And then as I come down the lick, a couple things that I'm noticing. It's a triplet here. 1 and then, 1 and then. And I'm holding the top note. Okay, one of the things we've been doing lately is I've been doing a lot of training with you guys, showing you how to hold the top notes of your chords and your licks, because it's a really important skill to get. And in this case, you're doing your triplet rhythm, 1 and then. We're going to go to 8:45 today, a free week. Normally, we're supposed to go 35 minutes. We're going to go 45 minutes. And I would go longer, but I always want to honor our iMusicAcademy family, who is literally coming on 4 days a week. All right, here we go. Triplet rhythm, 1 and then, 1 and then, 1 and then. And then I come into a second inversion triad. So I think, okay, I'm on a C7 chord, but it goes to the 4 chord. Second inversion, and then it's just minor third to major third. So Vance, who yelled out the key of F, let's do the same thing on F. F has 1 flat, it's B flat. So when I do root, third, fifth, flat 7 of F, how do you get the flat 7 of any note? Go down a whole step. You go down a half step, you get your major 7. Go down a whole step, you get a flat 7. Now watch this. 1, 3, 5, flat 7. Index finger goes up a whole step. So that gives me that nice B, and there it is right there. I'm holding the top note, and then I go, what's the 4 chord of F? B flat, right? B flat. Second inversion, B flat, and then it's just minor third to major third. So now we have this. Same thing on G. Let's go to the 5 chord of C. It's G. 1, 3, 5, flat 7 of a G scale. Index finger goes up a whole step. What's the 4 chord of G? G, A, B, C. C in second inversion. And then our minor third to major third. So we have this. Now, I want to take it one step further. I'm going to... Now we have this down, right? And we're going to practice this. 1 and then. 1 and then 2 and then 3 and then 4 and then 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1. Now, Rick says E flat is easier if you have thick fingers. Yes, it is. It is really important that that you do have to, depending on your hand size and whether or not your fingers are skinny or a little thicker, is that you do have to manipulate the keys. Sometimes you have to turn your hand just a little bit, not manipulate the keys, but manipulate your hand so that you can kind of get up into the keys and make it work. So I do understand everybody's a little bit different. All right, Vance, you have to tell us what you just learned. Okay, I'm excited to know that you just figured something out. Now, for everybody watching, we have a lot of people watching right now, is that we're learning how to do these shapes, right? Getting these shapes down. So from a visual standpoint, I have C7 to get set up for the lick. Index finger goes up a whole step. Now, when I do this triplet, now I'm going to go to the 4 chord, like I'm visualizing getting to the 4 chord of the C blues, which is my F in second inversion, and then it's just minor third to major third. Listen. Now, once you learn these licks, then you start putting them with different bass lines. I could go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. I could go. That's kind of nice. It's a little bit tricky, but that's kind of nice. All right, Vance says, I've been cheating for 20 years. The slide up to C. Oh, you talking about the hammer on up to C, Vance? Yeah, so we have been talking about this a lot at iMusicAcademy, but you're always 1 to 2 fingerings away from being able to play something in all keys. This example right here, this example, you're going to pretty much play for the most part. Well, we need to address the minor third to major third that Vance just talked about. Everybody pay attention, lock into this. Is that use this with this example right here, right? One of the most famous licks at iMusicAcademy is this idea of minor third slide to the major third. Okay, if I'm in the key of C and I have this down, if I show up at my friend's house and they're like, C blues, yeah, let's do it. And I'm sliding, same exact finger movement, all that, back to C. Oh, there's our lick, right? And F. No problem, right? And what if the guy comes in and they're like, let's play it in A, and you're like, okay, all right, let's go A, and then you go, wait, I can't slide onto that minor third to major third. You have to hammer on minor third to major third. There's no way to play a slide from the white key to the black key. In this case, we have to hammer on C to C sharp. So you get here and you get up. You get set up, think about A major, and you go 2, 3, and I go 2, 4, 3, 5. So you have to spend a little time with this. Now watch when I go to D, which is the 4 chord of A. I have to hammer on to D major. A major. What about E major? I have to hammer on. D major, and then here. So those 2 fingerings right there could get me to play the blues in any key. Any key, I show up to wherever you show up to play, and they're like, blues, let's do a slow blues in F sharp. Oh, you say, okay. All right, well, there's my F sharp, and I can't slide like I can in F, but I can hammer on, get up into the keys. All right, now I'm actually playing blues in F sharp with that lick, right? And then when I go to the B chord, which is the 4 chord of F sharp, I'm hammering on the B. Back to F sharp. And then what's the 5 chord? It's going to be D flat. I just say no. Yeah, I like that. Vance always has, he needs his own poetry books of where he's writing out his things. He said, I just say no to F sharp. I like that, Vance. You got to lay down the law. All right, very good. So Vance and everybody else watching, now we don't do a lot of F sharp blues at iMusic Academy because it's fun to be able to hammer onto these notes, but it sounds so much better and it feels so much better to do the slide keys, right? We know that. But it is important to be able to have the confidence to say, all right, I'm going to spend just a little bit of time learning in different keys just in case I show up and somebody's playing an F sharp blues. I don't think it's going to happen too much, but it might. And you want to be able to say, all right, that's a slide key, a hammer-on key. So you've done a little homework. Now, even Vance, even if we show up to an F sharp blues and I can play the first 5 notes of the F sharp blues, or I could go, yeah, Vicky says, or G flat blues. Yeah, that's going to make it easier for everyone. Same exact thing, of course. Okay, let's tie this together since I only have like 3 minutes left. I want to give you guys a quick story of I was at this jazz conference a long time ago, and this guy was talking about improvisation, and he was talking about all the resources there are and everything, and he came in with a wheelbarrow, and he had a bunch of jazz books in it, and he rolled it in, and he said, what do I have here? Everyone said, well, you have a bunch of jazz books. And then he was like, yeah, I do. But a wheelbarrow full of jazz books doesn't make you a good player, right? So we can have all the courses in the world, right? But what I love is I love the fact of what makes me better, and I think what makes all of us better is when we do this stuff together. And that's why I absolutely love what I get to do at iMusic Academy, because I do have an all-access group. I have a chord academy, or we have a chord academy. I hate to say we have a chord academy. We have an all-access group, and I'm telling you, people are in it. They don't just get in it for a week or two. They're in it, and we're doing this together. So my dad, who got in the first in chat, has been a member for years. Rick is a new member who is totally involved, very engaged. Vicky has been a long time. Doug is our first member of the YouTube channel. There are other ways to support than just the academies. And then, of course, Vance is new in the YouTube community. We're at 7 members right now for that. And so I have a bunch of different things. I do sell courses. I've sold courses. I create courses. I love to create courses. I love when people get the resources, but I love it even more when I connect with you guys and I help you guys. And for those that want to take things to the next level, to be a part of a community, I recommend it. Whether it's iMusic Academy or it's another, there are probably 1,000 or more other people doing the same kinds of things that I'm doing. But find a community that you like, because it does make a difference of us doing this together. We have all the courses in the world, but we're not motivated to practice. Then we don't get anything done, and then we kind of can lose interest in practicing, or even more important, we can feel overwhelmed, and then we don't want to do anything. But I can tell you at iMusic Academy, we're constantly doing this C9 voicing. We're constantly doing G. Most of our blues that we do are C blues, but at the same time, we have strategies to take us to different levels. For instance, I can say, all right, here are the first 5 notes of the C blues scale, and then we're going to do something what we call the up-down approach, where we say, let's do something we're familiar with, C, and then we're going to go up a half step and just spend a little time doing something out of our comfort zone. So now all of a sudden we're in D flat. All right, let's 3 flat 7, 9 of a D flat scale. Well, let's go back to C because that's our comfort key. All right, let's go down a half step. And let's work on B blues, okay? All right, and then we go back up. So there's certain things you can do, not only for licks, but also the first 5 notes. That's right, Marla does B-flat blues a lot. And another fun thing about iMusicAcademy, especially for our all access group, is that whatever you guys are working on, I'm right there with you. I'm creating PDFs for Marla and for anybody else, whatever you're working on. Ivan was working on Autumn Leaves and all these jazz things. Whatever it is you're working on, I love to help you guys and say, all right, yeah, you're working on that. All right, great, let's do it. And then the community gets to also get the benefit of your of whatever you're working on, because I provide the resources for them as well. All right, as we wrap up, I'm going to tell you a couple more housekeeping things, and you guys are going to say bye to each other like we always do. Let's wrap up this lesson by talking about how I want you to practice this, and then I'm going to tell you just a couple more important things about how you can get connected to iMusicAcademy if you would like to do that. So you have a couple of different things I'd like for you guys to focus on. So this lick right here, and I think this is the lick that I sent out to everybody on the email list, is this triplet lick, right? So remember, all you have to do in any key is go C, E, G, B flat, 1, 3, 5 flat 7 of the key, and then your index finger goes up a whole step. And you're practicing holding the top note. 1 and then, or 1 triplet, and then you go to the 4 chord of that key, and that's a F trident second inversion, and then I'm just minor third to major third, and notice that I'm holding the top note there, minor third to major third. So this is what it sounds like. But the lick is actually written all triplets. You hear that, Rick, right there? 1 and then 2 and then 3. Yeah, everybody loves this lick. I'll tell you this, I tuned a piano yesterday, and there was a little kid that was there, and we started, at the end of the lesson, he started doing, he was playing up top, and I was playing stuff like this. He was kind of dancing around. I was just doing really simple lick, and then I'd go. And I showed this kid, I'm like, hey, just do this. He actually impressed me with something. He went up to the flat 7. He went. So da 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 da. Okay, so you're gonna practice that idea, and everybody say goodbye to Hugh. Hugh is checking out. Good to see you, Hugh, and you made it to the end. All right, I know I went a little over today. All right, so for the people who are just hanging out, make sure you get your PDF. If for some reason you can't find access to that PDF that we just went over, just let me know. You can email me, bob@imusicacademy.com. Also, in several of the videos I've done recently is I put this one out there where you can get this. And so a lot of people have been getting that one. And so anyway, so we have 3 or 4 different ways you can get involved at iMusicAcademy. You can join our all access group, which they get everything, lessons Monday, private lessons Monday, Thursday, and then they get access, of course, to Chord Academy, which is Tuesday and Friday, and then you get all the courses and all the practice materials. It's really an amazing thing, and it's less than 1 lesson with me per month. That if you are going to just take a private lesson for me, and you get everything, and it's just an easy way for me to say, hey, invest almost a lesson with me, but you get the whole month and you get all the things. Rick will tell you, Hugh will tell you, all these people will tell you. It's crazy what you guys get if you're actually wanting to go down that road of all access. But don't just do it and then say, I'll do it for a week. Really think about it, because it's really important that I want to invest in you guys, not just from a music standpoint, but I really want to invest in you, get to know you, and really help you take your playing to the next level. The other way is Chord Academy. Chord Academy is just like you want blues, jazz, and at the same time, I often invite our Chord Academy members to iMusic Academy lessons as well, our all access group. So you get tons of stuff there. And we started Chord Academy in September. That's another way. Our newest way is our YouTube channel. And all you have to do is you can hit join right here. It'll show you all the tiers that you get. I put all kinds of material in there. Recently, I've given out 2 courses in there. I give out tons of licks, tons of private streams, you name it, for a crazy affordable way. So you have a lot of options. All right, that's enough about me. Go practice, have fun. Make sure you say goodbye again. And I'll see you guys in the next video. I'll see you Chord Academy for tomorrow's lesson. Have a good one, everyone. It was a lot of fun.